What up? Welcome to OutSpoken Network. Say what you mean what you say. As always, I'm Cordell.
Marqus.
E-Rock.
I'm Deuce. Dak don't need to get no extra money.
What? Nice.
I just want to mess with up.
And the question of the day today is pretty simple. Yeah, Justin Jefferson just got his. And so now when we look at the upcoming contracts for the guys coming out, which is wide receiver wise, we are looking at CD, we're looking at T, we're looking at T. Higgins, CD Lamb. For those who don't know, no, I'm saying their full names in case people don't know.
Oh, okay.
CD Lamb, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase,
Ayuk,
Brandon Ayuk.
Anybody else?
Nah, that's it.
Then we should be good with that one.
Just talk about your ass later.
Just those four, and
we're gonna circle back.
And I also want to bring up the contract that have been done. So obviously Justin Jefferson, yes, he's at $35 million. He signed the average salary is where he's at. But someone else who signed this offseason, Amon-Ra St. Brown signed this offseason.
Got him money.
30
Got him
average. Jalen Waddle signs.
Got him money.
28,250. So obviously
AJ Brown too.
Hey,
AJ Brown got signed.
He re-signed.
Well,
yeah, he did an
extension.
Yeah, but so did Waddle. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Waddle's
and so did Justin Jefferson. Everybody got extended.
Okay, because AJ already got paid. Like he already, like this is his.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
We get what you said.
These guys, this is their first time getting.
But the casual fans gonna be a little confused.
Okay,
like, wait a minute.
so sorry.
they still under the same big.
So if we put these in order, does anybody remember the order of those guys?
So
it's
who got
Jefferson
first? It was AJ Brown.
AJ first.
AJ
yeah, it was AJ first.
Amon-Ra.
Yep.
Then Waddle.
Yep.
And then Jefferson.
Yep.
And so
technically, we can put Devontae Smith in there because he got paid with.
He did.
If we throw Devontae in there, we can throw Nico Collins in there too. Like,
okay.
You know that.
All these guys are top 10. That's your name.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So, and this is all over the board. It's not a next man up. This is why I'm setting this up. This is not a next man up. It's getting more. It don't matter where they're spread throughout.
Yep.
There's a spectrum that's been set.
Yes.
It seems like it. Yes. It seems like that is what is developing as we're talking, as I'm looking at this as well. So the question is, where do we see this next four group? CD, T, Chase, Ayuk. These four. Where do we see them landing? Where do you think they should land?
In terms of how much they should get per year?
Yes.
Well, yes.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the man whose question this is.
E-Rock.
Yeah. I definitely think Jamar falls right in line behind Jettis. Right? Jettis coming in at 35 per year. I think
more.
I'm sure he's probably asking for more.
But if you're the Bengals,
you good, bro. Right here. You get 33. You okay? You good with 33? He should be. Yeah, he'll make him number 2. He'll be okay. 33 per year.
Who's the best receiver in the league?
Jettis.
Jefferson or Tyreek Hill.
So they shouldn't get if
Tyreek.
I'm saying, I think those two are like clear cut 1 and 2 of best wide receiver to me.
Anyone who should get paid more than Justin Jefferson, the only guy I would have is Tyreek Hill. Go ahead, E-Rock. Finish your point.
That's interesting.
But the only reason why I wouldn't do that is because of just age wise. Like
disagree.
Jettas is we have way more time.
Yes, I would disagree.
I would pay CD more than Jamar though.
Ooh. So you would give CD second best guarantee.
Nothing more than Justin. So
no one is getting more than no one. No, Jefferson is the benchmark. Jefferson is the benchmark.
No.
Okay.
I think Jefferson is the benchmark.
He's the bar. Yes.
Okay.
I think the only person who can reset that bar, well, not who can, because all the dudes we're bringing up, like they're elite wide receivers who you're going to have to game plan for if you're going up against them. I think the only dude who... I think the only person who has the resume to get that would be Tyreek.
Now, it's interesting because CD's numbers, you put his numbers next to Jettis.
It's not the same.
But CD got more catches, more yards.
It's not that far off.
No. No, he doesn't.
Not in my mind. More touchdowns. More
he has more
more
touchdowns
yards.
and catches.
Not more yards.
But yeah.
It's not that far.
And the yard is like by 700.
It's not that much.
And he missed 7 games.
That's not a whole lot.
But I'm saying, but Justin Jefferson missed 7 games. And he still has 700 more yards.
I feel in like because here's here is where
who are you talking about? I'm sorry.
We're talking about Justin Jefferson and CD Lamb when you compare their numbers.
Okay.
Here's where.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, because I mean that right there says different. That right there says
CD Lamb was a year before.
I get
3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 15 categories. I'm going to leave the fantasy points out. Of the 15 categories, CD has played 6 more games, has had 3 more catches, though. Justin Jefferson has almost 800 more yards and more catches, not more catches, more yards per catch than CD. All the other categories, CD has more.
Which is?
Reception touchdowns, CD got 2 more. Rushing yards, CD has 300 yards more. Sprinkle it in there. We care about it.
Okay.
So we just care about it for Debo. That's
irrelevant. Yes, because CD doesn't get a healthy dose of carries.
Okay, so none of these other stats matter because they're all rushing yards, kickoff, punt return.
So
CD got all the punt returns.
So here's what.
No, so then essentially what you're saying is Justin Jefferson outclasses him in every single way.
With 6 less games, Justin Jefferson
outclasses him in every
2 less touchdowns.
Exactly. That's why I say outclass him, because if he played in those 6 games, he would have more than you.
Absolutely.
So what else?
More. So Justin Jefferson has 3 less catches, 2 less touchdowns, and then almost.
So what about? Okay, what about accolades? What about first team All Pros? What about like
first team All? Go ahead. You get the bottom.
All Pros. Jefferson has 1 more. Jefferson also has AP Offensive Player of the Year. CD doesn't. They both have the same amount of Pro Bowls. So again,
led the league in
as we were saying, the Jefferson numbers. With Jefferson, his numbers, his money is warranted. He deserves to be the number 1. I don't think CD is that far off, but I also don't think Jamar is that far off as well in terms of just where they lie in terms of structure as far as getting paid in this league. I think Jamar, of the group of receivers we were talking about that are looking for an extension at some point, I think Jamar is the one that should come the closest to Jets. Over CD, yes. Over CD, because if you're, think of it as this way as well. If you're these respective teams, right? You're Dallas. In the back of your mind, you're probably thinking, I don't know how long Dak is going to be here. And everything that CD has done is with him. At least Jamar has his quarterback for the foreseeable future. I can't say the same thing about.
But wouldn't that make you feel like you need CD more for your next quarterback if you need one?
Well, yeah, but also the money that I'm giving him, I'm still giving him a certain amount of money, expecting that he's going to be the same player and not have somewhat of a drop off.
So I feel like
that's just me.
I don't think that's fair to CD, because I feel like if you look at his workload, he's getting open. He's yards after catch, but wiggle that CD has different than what most receivers have. And how he's able to create for himself.
They're different receivers.
I feel like it's not fair to take away, like if you're thinking Cowboys big picture, okay, if Dak ends up leaving and then they're kind of in a not a rebuild mode, but a retooling mode.
But I'm making that statement based on how I honestly feel Dallas is going to look at the structure of his contract.
I feel like having a conversation on what they finna pay him versus what we think he should get are 2 different things.
I mean, what he do?
I'm not agreeing so that they will be above 30 million.
Yes,
I think we all feel like they'll hit 30.
I think Jamar and CD.
Jamar and CD. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Jamar and CD. Like
I think CD will come right at 30.
Okay. So because if Jefferson is at 35, and we feel like they'll be close.
AJ's at 32.
Yeah, like I think they will be both around AJ's.
Definitely CD.
Especially with CD and AJ being in the same division, he will definitely be like, I want just a little bit more than AJ.
So I hot take. CD is like somewhere between Jalen Waddle and St. Brown to me.
Between 28 and 30.
What?
Yeah, like you guys are talking up CD right now, and I'm just like, no, I don't even think he's close.
Why do you
to
think
Justin
that?
Jefferson? I personally, when I watch CD play versus if I watch Justin Jefferson play, and I think Jamar Chase is better than him too. Yes. I think both of them. I think they are more stakes for defenses to deal with. Where I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, that's Justin Jefferson. When he makes that play, Like, yeah, only Justin Jefferson gonna make that. Like, and I can't even.
He's seen it. He's seen it firsthand. He's seen it. He's seen it firsthand. He's seen it firsthand. He would.
But when I see CD, I'm like, yeah, we can probably shut him down. And there's nothing apart, no part of me that sits here and I'm like, yeah, we can shut down Justin Jefferson. Nothing.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But see, here's my thing, because Waddle is 5th in the league right now in terms of salary per year at 28.2. I'll be honest, I think that's a slight overpay
for Waddle.
For Waddle.
Nah, only because
he's not a number one.
He can be. Hold on. He can be. And the one thing that you have to think is, remember, we've already heard Tyreek Hill say that, man, he doesn't have that much longer in the league. So that extension that Waddle has is basically when Tyreek is gone, he's like, that's him.
I understand value-wise it makes sense. It's still just in terms of how much I think that he should be valued.
He had 1,300 yards as a second guy.
Yes. Because that's why in my head, I'm sitting here and I'm like,
how much
if Waddle,
but let's be honest.
CD spot.
But let's be honest.
Okay.
When hold on. Let's be honest, okay? If there's no Tyreek on the field and all the attention is at Waddle, you still expect Waddle to put up these type of numbers?
Yes. And the only reason why, the only reason why is because when Waddle was a rookie without Tyreek Hill, he still had 1,000 yards.
Just
1,000 yards.
So you expect that he's going to be better after that rookie year. So if he's better than 1,000 yards, he's right where he's at 1,300 yards.
I don't think he would be better. I think he would still be around that 1,000, 1,100.
Probably, I think so too.
But how many receivers?
That's because I think Tua's not going to be able to operate without Tyreek Hill. Like, that offense flows through Tyreek. So Tua can't make that offense flow without Tyreek being there, which is why. If I had Waddle on the Cowboys instead of CD, I absolutely think he could shine with that.
Waddle is getting number one money right now, and he's not a number one. He's clearly not a number one.
But they gave Devontae that money too. The Eagles also gave
how much is Devontae?
Devontae's getting 25.
Yeah, I do believe that wide receivers are starting to get overpaid.
I mean,
yeah,
I think
it's Calvin Ridley. Yeah, well, Calvin Ridley didn't even deserve the amount of money he got.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, they're better than him, so obviously, like, they're going to be in that range.
Wide receivers are now flirting along the same lines of quarterbacks.
Yeah, bro.
Y'all are just getting overpaid.
I like these guys.
Christian Kirk.
Y'all.
I like these
guys.
So
once Christian Kirk got 20 mil, everybody was like, oh.
Here we go. Here we go, because I'm 10 million better than Christian Kirk. I promise you that. Well, that's exactly what Tyreek Hill said. That was it. It was a wrap.
I don't. So go ahead.
The way I think about it in terms of what a wide receiver can do for me, I feel as though when you look at Dolphins' offense and how they're able to put their players in a position to succeed, I feel like that has helped Jalen Waddle be able to flourish and use his speed. When we look at Tyreek Hill and the sets that they run, they had a clip that popped up on Twitter for me the other day. I don't know who tweeted that, Joe, where they showed the motion that they would run for Tyreek Hill, where they would bring him into like the HB spot, like if you were to run a triple option type thing, and then they would sprint him out to the slot, and then just have him have a clear release off the line, and then boo he open type thing. When you have someone who can design someone to where you don't have to press Tyreek, you can just get him out the way and get him in space. They're doing the same thing for Jalen Waddle, and he also has people taking attention away from him with Tyreek.
I'm just saying,
Waddle. I like Waddle.
It means he would also be good.
So
you said that if you put Jalen Waddle in where CD is,
no.
So let me.
Great.
Do you think do you think Ayuk is in that same class? You think Ayuk is also a wide receiver one just as much as you think Waddle is? So where do you think Ayuk? How much you think Ayuk should get?
He should probably get about, probably about 29, 30.
Now, I would only
say that because
because Ayuk was a first team All Pro.
Now, the domino that will fall because of that, the domino that will
sounds good to me.
The domino that will fall because of that is now He's
where at?
Well, Debo at that. Debo's
got to get traded.
Debo's getting 23.
He's got to get traded.
But even if you're getting still, even if Debo goes to another team, as Debo, you're probably going to think I'm better than my production has been better. I clearly was the top option in that offense in San Francisco. So I would definitely think I should get more than Brandon.
Well, I'm saying not last year. He was not.
That's 1 year.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. That's what teams will be like. Hey, like last year, and honestly, the past 2 years, you didn't produce like you did 3 years ago when you got that contract. So they're going to be like, oh, well, you know what? Like maybe you're not that guy anymore. They might just do that. You know how the NFL works. So it's like he's had 2 seasons where he didn't come close to where he did in his best season.
So
he was also injured last year.
So I think that if I was doing this, Jamar Chase should be getting close to what Justin Jefferson got.
Like
CD should be getting close to.
I still think CD should get 30.
CD should be somewhere around Waddle and Amon-Ra's contract, which is 28 to 30.
I'm good with 30.
When we look at like what a wide receiver is supposed to do, if we checking boxes, we're talking about route running. CeeDee Lamb is head and shoulders better than Jalen Waddle in terms of running routes for me. In terms of how he's able to get open and how he's consistently open, it's not close. You know what I'm saying?
We said 30.
I was talking to Cordell. I'm not looking at y'all. Cordell.
We said 30. Like, he still should get more than Waddle.
Talking to Cordell. That was what he was talking about. Around the Waddle range.
Waddle, Amon-Ra.
I would definitely think CD should get Amon-Ra money.
No. The reason why I think that CD should get more than Jamar Chase is because the past 2 seasons he has done better than Jamar Chase, and it's been by a wide margin. Well, it's not just a few hundred yards.
That's not fair.
That's not fair.
Jamar also just catching passes from Jake Browning last year for half a season.
But I'm saying both this year and last year.
Well, who's to say that Jamar wouldn't have had a certain type of season if he didn't have his quarterback on him?
He was cooking when Joe Burrow was there.
I mean, it's not like he was doing okay. He wasn't doing bad with Jake Browning.
He was doing okay.
Bolton.
Who was Dak on the ball to?
CD.
Anybody else?
I mean, Brandon Cooks for a little bit. Jake Ferguson for a little bit.
Right beside me eating up some targets too. Like we're not gonna act like if he didn't.
Right, we left Higgins out this conversation.
I mean, because Higgins
is Higgins in that same? Is Higgins in that same?
There was a drop off with Jamar when Jake Brown came in. That's my.
Is Higgins in that same boat for you as Waddle and Ayuk? Like you think he can be a true number one as well?
No. He's not that he can't be a true number one, but he would be for me because Higgins hasn't had the production that those two have had. He's never had close to 12 or 1,300 yards. He's barely cracked 1,000. He's only done that twice in however long he's been there. All the other guys that we said were 2s have put up numbers like they were 1s at some point. T. Higgins has not done.
But at what point do we draw the line where
that's the line?
No, hold on. But at what point do we draw the line where we say that these guys are eating because of who is lined up opposite of them?
But if you
like you would say it's to me it's fair to question that for Waddle. As good as Waddle is, as good as this offense has looked, he has definitely benefited from having Tyreek.
Okay, but you could say the same thing for T. Higgins, and he has not put up the numbers that both of those guys have. So I'm not going to put them in that same category if they're in the exact same situations. That's the only thing. If they were in the same situation and putting up the same numbers,
at that point of the conversation, it's literally a debate of skill set. Do you want?
No, it's based on production.
No. If you,
that's where I was at. Go ahead.
I'm talking about you can sit here and you can make that particular case. That's fine, but at the same time, in today's game, your true number ones, or if you look down the list of your number ones, the skill set is more similar to T. Higgins than Jalen.
I see T. Higgins getting the money. He will get 25, 26, but he will not get what Devontae. I don't think he'll get more than Devontae, and I don't think he'll get more.
He won't get more than Devontae.
And I don't think he'll get more than Waddle or Ayuk.
Who's better, Devontae or T. Higgins?
Devontae. Bro, we check the stats, bro. He's better.
Why you always know?
Because Because they're in the same situation.
Again, no.
And
Because if you were to throw Terry McLaurin in any other literally average offense, he would be considered a better wide receiver than what he is. It's about numbers. He's
okay.
For example, I did try to throw Command in there. I really did. There's no way we can just look at it based off of numbers. Because when you look at just numbers, Mike McDaniels, for example, like I was saying, puts his players, speed players, in a position to succeed how they are. He wouldn't be able to do the same thing he's doing.
So what you're saying is the Bengals aren't put in good situations.
That's not what I said.
You're saying Mike McDaniel.
Your first reason for bringing up
because they're in the same situation.
No. The first reason that you bring up is always numbers. It's always
because they're in the same situation. Every player that we have talked about are in the same situation. They are they're the number 2 option with good quarterback, sometimes great.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's like you're like, what are we talking about?
So what I'm talking about in terms of when you bring up numbers, we know that certain systems will target more players. You have certain systems that put people in a better position to succeed. We have certain players who, like when we have Jamar, who had to deal with Jake Browning.
Okay. So who's in a better situation to succeed? Is it a guy with Joe Burrow at quarterback or a guy with Tua at quarterback?
So that's a complete different tent. That's a complete different
Joe Burrow's never healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to add
even in the healthy years, he's not put up those numbers.
Hold on. I don't like the Dolphins question because when we talk about success, no. I don't like when he says, "Is it Tua? Is it better to have Tua or is it better to have what?" Because I'm immediately thinking that Tua is just a product of McDaniels. The question is, which offense is better? I'm asking is it McDaniels setting them up better, not Tua? I don't care nothing about Tua. It's about McDaniels.
We know.
Okay, what about this?
Real quick.
I was talking.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to help your point. So give me a second.
I appreciate it.
So T. Higgins versus Devontae Smith. T. Higgins has played in 8 more games.
Okay.
Obviously, he has not played in all 58 of his games with his starting quarterback, but I digress. With that being said, obviously Higgins is better in everything, subtracting average per game. He played 8 more games. So,
no, but you were saying that Smith was better, and you lean towards the numbers. You lean towards the numbers, but the numbers say otherwise.
But
there's only 8 games to separate.
He missed games this year.
There's 8. Okay, so there's 8 game difference of them actually physically playing. So to me, I think that they're pretty equal because if I gave Devontae Smith 8 games, cool. But if I get rid of Jalen Hurts for half of the season over here and a little bit over there, then his numbers drop. So to me, I feel like they're even.
If you do you think hold on, listen. Do you think last year listen, hold on. Last year, did you think if hypothetically, let's say Hurts missed half the season and Devontae had to catch passes from Marcus Mariota, you think he would still be able to have the type of season he had last year?
No. Just say no, stop. No.
The top season?
Oh hell.
Stop. No, he wouldn't. It's fine. I think that they're pretty equal as far as production.
Just changing the circumstances.
Okay, you know what? If that's going to be your case, then T. Higgins should have had 1,000 yards every year he was with Joe Burrow, and he didn't. Devontae Smith has had 1,000 yards with Jalen Hurts every year.
No.
And we're talking. Hold on, and I'm talking about when Joe Burrow was healthy, he didn't have 1,000 yards.
So when I was bringing up, when I talk about numbers, we know that numbers don't necessarily equate to you being the best at whatever you are. We talk about passing yards. You talk.
All right, go ahead, man.
When you look at Negro, look. We talk about passing yards, for example. How often is the passing yards leader the person who wins the Super Bowl? We look at rushing yards leaders. How often is the rushing yards leader the ones with the Super Bowl? We look at numbers, and you're trying to say that this makes this player who they are. Dak Prescott was leading the league in passing yards, 2 years ago? Where do you put him as your quarterback? You know what I'm saying? You can use numbers to make a particular point, but when you add the context and what those numbers apply, or having your quarterback or not, having your number one wide receiver or not, it's not necessarily the end all be all for why you should be, this player is better because this player had more yards, this player had more catches.
He is more consistent. That is literally it. He has been more consistent in his career than T. Higgins has. That's literally it.
Bro, he's had,
and you can make the case.
They've had the same amount of 1,000-yard seasons.
And
one has played longer than the other. So if that's how you're going to equate it.
Like, you're sitting here acting like he's lapping T with 1,500 yards. They both both had 2 seasons of under 1,200 yards.
Hold on. No.
It's just
how many 1,000 yards?
Devontae had 1,066 last year. And then the year before that, he had 1,196.
Okay, well then T. Higgins last year had 656.
No, that's not the point that I'm making. The point that I'm making is you're sitting here pretending like Devontae's putting up 1,400 yards every year.
No. All I'm saying is he has been more consistent in his production than T. Higgins when they're in the same situation.
But that's not because Devontae's better than T. That's what I'm trying to say.
But like, how else are you gonna?
Let's move on. I don't know how this means he's more consistent. But
bro, T. Higgins 900 yards, 1,000, 656. Devontae Smith 1,000.
No, it's 916. It's not 1,000.
Okay, 916.
Don't do
1,000.
That man, a 2,000 yard season. Yes.
Okay. They both only have 2,000.
Yes.
Okay.
No.
But he's just a little better. He's a little better.
You're basing it on numbers. You're not basing it on what makes a wide receiver. When you talk about T. Higgins and how he's able to get open, you talk about the big bodiness.
Production is what matters for wide receivers. If it wasn't that, if it wasn't that, they wouldn't worry about, man, I need to get the ball.
Production is
throw me the ball.
Oh, if production is what matters, then I don't want to hear you say he's played more games, because in terms of production alone, T is better than Devontae.
You know what? Okay, cool. If that's the case, that means Curtis Samuel is better than Jalen Waddle. He's better than a bunch of these other wide receivers. No, because that's
like one nugget, and
because he literally just said number of games doesn't matter. And because he said he has more production in his career. So I'm saying, okay.
So that's not the blanket statement.
That's not the statement I made. That's not the statement. That's not the statement I made. That's not the statement I made. Shut up. That's not the statement I made. But anyway, go ahead, close it. At
the end of the day, let me close this thing out.
Jamar.
Justin Jefferson should stay the top.
Yes.
4.
Yes.
That Chase should be the next.
No, bro. Should be the next guy.
I think Chase.
Fine. So we have a split decision on who should go next.
You a boxer now.
And that was based off of numbers.
Who's going to get 40?
Nobody.
We're not doing this.
Nobody.
One of these rookies.
Upcoming? You think Marvin going to be the one?
One of these rookies that just
Marvin or Malik?
One of these rookies that
who's going to get 40? It's going to happen.
It will.
It'll be one of these rookies.
People sleep on Rome.
The only way that it doesn't happen is if it gets to a point where this wide receiver market is so saturated with guys, they're just like, we'll just get someone else at a lower price.
All right. I'm closing this thing out. Good talk. Love this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share on our social. Outspoken. Say what you mean what you say. I'm Cordell.
Marqus.
Deuce.
Until next time, be easy, be breezy, and please take it easy.